What's up, everybody? Hello, hello. It is Sunday. It is Sunday. You guys already know what that means. It is time for Cozy Couch Conversations with the three queens from Queens. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Hey. And I think he's
Hello,
the
hello, hello,
other.
hello.
Hey.
What's going
Hey,
on?
hun.
Yes, it
It's
is.
Sunday.
Yep.
Wait, you got on blue?
Okay, I
Oh,
see you with
shoot.
the run to play.
Yes. Run the play, 200K. You already know. Happy Sunday, everybody. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling?
I'm
Are you on the
I'm on a
couch? Oh,
different
yeah, you're on
couch,
the
but it's
couch.
my couch. Waiting for
Okay.
Chi.
Yeah.
Usually I'm
She'll
the
be
late
here.
one.
Listen. I know. Look at,
Well,
see?
I didn't.
Changing up.
I
How
had
you
to
feeling?
run to the grocery store beforehand because I was supposed to go earlier, and Ari came and told me she
Mm-hmm.
wanted to go to sleep. So I went to put her to sleep and fell
Mm-hmm.
asleep on the couch. Right, exactly.
Cozy.
Oh, I'm about to turn this heat off. It's hot in here. I'm probably looking like I'm melting right now. Mm.
No, doesn't look like it.
It was
So, how
cool. It
was
was
your
busy,
week?
but it was good.
Oh, there's Chi coming through. Chi, welcome to the cozy couch. You usually the early one with me.
I ain't finished putting away all the groceries. So, well, yeah,
You
just
put
some
away
stuff
the
that
important stuff,
goes in
right?
the fridge.
Mm-hmm. Chi.
There
I
she
don't know
go.
why your
She coming.
request is not setting through.
Hello, hello.
Oh,
Queen,
okay. Hi.
Hi, how y'all doing?
we here.
Welcome.
I'm melting over
Amazing.
here. Yeah,
Wait, you hot? What you mean?
because because I'm downstairs, so I have the heat on.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I might.
Cool, cool, cool.
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Welcome.
Drop in the
Hello.
chat how y'all feeling.
Amazing.
Gee, you never late to the couch.
No, so I'm telling you, it's like life knows when I have something that I'm supposed to be doing. This is the second time within 24 hours. I was handling a situation and then I had to hurry up and get back here. And it's all because of a phone. It's all because of a phone, but that's
Oh,
for
you
another.
still with
Mm,
the issue with the phone?
Listen.
mm.
Just
Impeccable. I
know
love it.
that someone's
Yes.
gonna get a nice letter from me. Just,
Oh.
I don't know. They got the right
Uh-oh.
one. They got the right one.
Oh.
But anyways, enough about the shenanigans. We are live
I'm
and
gonna
direct here on the
I'm gonna
Cozy
turn
Couch
this heat down,
Conversation.
y'all.
Yo, it never fails. Magic just
And I
has to.
see her shadow right up on there.
Yeah, she has to. I think she likes when I go live because she comes over here. I mean, like, what you want? You want to sing? What you want to do? It's wild crazy because I look back on some of the videos. She does this every video.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
Well,
Hey.
she's seeing the black magic energy.
All
That's what
right.
she's doing.
That's right. That's right. So, welcome, guys, to the Cozy Couch Conversations with the three queens from Queens. And we are so excited for tonight's
Listen.
show because it's a recap of the amazing events that we had the opportunity to attend right after our last episode. So,
Go ahead.
That's Mo. I'm
it's all
Evie.
about me.
That's
No,
Chi,
I'm
by the
joking.
way,
I'm joking.
y'all. If you didn't know.
She's like, look, we're going to
Listen,
get right into it.
I'm sorry.
I know.
Always. Let's go. Yeah. All right, my summer energy has to calm down because that's how I gotta remember. Let's do protocol here. All right.
Hey y'all,
Evie.
it's your girl Evie, hailing out of VA.
What it do? What it do? This is Chi Chi hailing out of DE, Delaware.
And y'all already know I'm Empress Monique reigning in New York. So thank you guys for tuning in. Last time we all met, we all three went to an event that was in the Maryland,
DMV,
Delaware.
DMV
What,
area.
I like to call
Let's
it the
say
DMV area.
Stop acting like you're not from the United States of America.
I know, but I don't say that. It sounds weird to me. Every time I see a DMV, it doesn't make sense to me. Because it's never close to Virginia, and it's really not always close to Maryland. It's weird. I don't like
Just
it.
say
Okay,
an event in
my
Maryland.
disclaimer.
Dang it.
But anyway, and I like to always like surprises, and I didn't want y'all to know for sure that I was actually gonna make it. So I felt so happy surprising y'all for being there, and bringing my little mini me, who she just adores y'all. Y'all know that.
Shout out to Savvy.
And
Yes, ma'am.
It's a shout out to Savvy.
Yes, who actually enjoyed the event, which was amazing for a little 8-year-old to have the attention span to actually listen and be able to spit some information back.
That is.
She's not here tonight to make an appearance, but she did share she dropped some jewels that I didn't even think she caught. But that's the thing about little kids. They're sponges, and when you expose them to different things, you'd be surprised what they retain.
Fact.
Right. So at the event, representation is everything. She sees me go to a lot of events, and she knows about us going to events, but her actually being there, she's asking like, "Are these people they're traders too, Ma? They make money?" And then of course she got her opportunity to be with Sophia.
Who was kind of famous.
Yes,
but
kind of a big deal.
She's kind of a big deal. You kind of a big deal, Shout out to Sophia Lightborn. But for her to see Justin in person, she hears him all the time and she sees him on Zooms. But for her, the first time be in his presence, and she was like, "Mommy, he's younger than you." I'm like, "Yeah."
That reminded me.
I'm like, "Be quiet." But she was like, "Wow, Mommy." And, she's like, heard him say, he's been an entrepreneur for most of his life. And he was like, "See, Ma, I don't have to go to college if I don't really want to." And I'm like, it's not about wanting to go to college or not. You got to have a plan, and you got to be able to execute that plan fully. So it was kind of great for her to see that. And I was excited about that because I didn't even take her for that reason, really. It wasn't even that. It was like, "Yo, we hopping in the car, we going to Maryland tonight." And that was the premise, but I didn't even think that one decision would open up a whole different dialogue about, what we do, and representation is everything. So for her to see a young, Black, educated, male, handsome, let's add that, handsome male doing like what I'm doing and then some, of course, more than that, and tangibly to be able to like physically see him and say he's a real person, and he was real cool. He was like, yeah, let's take some pictures, and he waited for her, and I love that. So shout out to Jo, you're amazing. My daughter is very infatuated with you, so she's gonna kill me for saying that. But anyway, so that was one of the things that I loved about the event, because events build up our beliefs, right? But exposure for the children is better. They get to see it and believe it. And when she hears me play J.O.'s mixtape, she's like, "Yeah, I met him. Right. I got a picture with him," which is great.
Cool points at school.
That was a good thing. Cool points at school, yes. Because Sophia, please go on this YouTube Shorts channel for Savannah, please. Anyway, I did my job tonight. She told me I need to make sure that I
Oh my
get
goodness.
You're gonna be
get
like,
that on
look,
plate.
I know her. She's
So we running the play all day.
Right. Yeah, that
Yes.
event.
So but about the event,
No, I just wanted to, I
huh?
was just going to add to it. I was going to say that was not only, it's always great seeing, um, Sophia Lightborn, shout out to her, Mr. Justin Owens as well. But it was the first time I got to see Mr. Alex Morton. Like, I mean, not the first time I got to see him.
Yes.
I mean, like in a smaller setting. Like I've been into bigger events and I've seen him, but it wasn't, when you've been to an event with 3,000 people, it doesn't feel as intimate, when the person is speaking.
Yeah.
This is actually the first time I was in a smaller event, and got to, hear what he had to say. And, I'm already, of course, loving his mindset. His mentor is Mr. Bob Proctor. So you already know, right? If y'all don't know who Bob Proctor is, I need y'all to go Google that real quick.
He's the GOAT.
Right? Just talk about belief and manifestation and really tapping into you, right? To the greater version of you. So I really enjoy that. And like I said, I was kind of like Savannah in a sense. I was like, wow, this is the first time,
Right.
So it was also cool. You popping up too. You really surprised us. I had no idea. I really, you got Chi. Not many people get me. So that was cool.
No. Yeah. And it's funny because one event to a next, and then like how y'all know that's magic. How things happen in your life, and of course, like I said, exposure is great for the kids. During this week, just keeping the momentum of having welcome, having belief in leadership and just pouring into yourself and things like that. Big shout out to Coach.
Oh, hold on, I didn't even get to what? Well, Evie, hold on, Evie, did you have
He's an amazing person.
I know. I'm like,
oh, Evie, wait.
Look, she on a roll. She's like, look, I want to get into it.
No, get into it. Get into it. It's all good. Get into it.
No, what was your takeaway from the event on Friday?
I might lose
last Friday.
Last Friday, I just, it's always good to just, be in a small setting. For me, being in those more intimate settings,
do we lose her?
One of the things that I didn't do was actually capture the moment on, because I was there physically and I was into it, but I didn't capture it as far as, capturing a picture or something like that, just to have something to go back to, years from now and say, hey, this was the first time, like she said, I actually, met Mr. Alex Morton in person. Now I've seen Justin, pictures with him before, but I'm an in the moment person, and so aside from everything else, I took major notes, of course, and it's to apply the notes I take, obviously, but just for me, actually capturing, snippets of the moment on camera, just that was my main thing I wanted to from it.
Right. Well, and it's, thank God we have more opportunities to do so, because I was the same way too, and then I had to have that like, hi, hello, you got to be in pictures too, but take pictures as well. So it'll all come. But there was another major event that occurred right after I flew out to Orlando. We had a major women's event that happened, right. And actually it's the second year that they've had it installed, and it being in Orlando was cool, just to be in a different environment. But the message in in that event. So, so women's empowerment, leadership, and, belief, all of that was played a factor. But just like Mo had said earlier about representation, to just see women, that was around women, leadership, the chairwomen, speaking, powerful, had Melanie Greeno, Dr. Teresa Spiller, and China Bethley, Millie Mills. The list just went on. It was just like, wow. I'm so glad I went, because I had a refreshing renewal. And one of the things that was said that I just can't forget it, was just the aspect of not just being empowered, but I know for me, one thing that I'm looking to do more of is like tapping in spiritually. I'm a, how would I say? I have belief in myself. Like, that's something that no one's gonna shake that with me, right? I bet on myself all the time, but I wanted to grow, spiritually. And, there's a lot of messages that was just put out there that like really resonated with me. One of them I wanted to read, right? And it was Proverbs. It was Proverbs 31. I know anybody who's tuning in, they're gonna be like, yo, she is reciting what fire is gonna now be.
That's awesome.
I cannot. Y'all see my face.
I'm here for it.
I've come a long way.
I know we got front row seats.
But it was Proverbs 31, right? And it was basically reinforcing the roadmap to becoming a queen. And I know if y'all tuning in, we branding ourselves the queen from Queens, and I was really thinking about this, not just for me as an individual. I was thinking about other women too, right? And it said the roadmap to becoming a queen is written literally in plain sight. It literally is, right? And the message, and this is something that the reason why I'm saying this is I want women who are on this, watching this live or catching this repeat, to really recite this daily, right? It's something simple, all right? So it says she trades, she wears fine linen, she runs businesses, has staff, buys and sells land. Shout out to the real estate or to the digital land, whichever you do, right? Metaverse. And gets up while it is still night to set her house in order. She does not eat the bread of idleness. She has a purpose for her money. And, when, again, I'm not one
That's
for the
deep.
books, you know what I'm saying?
That is
But
deep.
it hit me, you know what I'm saying? I was like, she is me and me is she, and this is we, like, this is something that I'm like, literally, if anybody tries or has the audacity to combat anything, you know what I'm saying, that I do, that we do, listen, that joint is right in the book.
It was written.
It was written.
It was written.
It was literally written. So I saw it, so I'm like,
see what this says? I'm powerful. See this?
Yes. So yeah, that was something, one of many things in that event that really stuck with me. And I was just like, wow. Because the premise was, expanding your awareness, personal development, leadership, just vision, just so many different things. And people I ran into, it when I say it was like an out of body experience too, it's just like, it was just something in that room or in that space where, certain people I gravitated to, but there were certain people that happened to just gravitate to me. I knew no one. I'm gonna tell you, for the first time, besides some of the, the
speakers,
the chairwomen, the leaders, I knew no one in that room. So that's you know what I'm saying? So I was put in a space. Somebody might say, wow, that must have been real uncomfortable, or different. But I know me, you put me in a room, I'll chat with anybody. But it was the first time I've been in a space where I legit didn't know anyone. Legit, not one at all. And so it was cool, because now it says, look, we put you in a certain environment, and you've grown, you've done certain things. Now you must be in another environment. And then that's how life is. continue to put yourself in environments you haven't been in, and that's how you grow. If you're doing what you've always done, you will remain the same. And I'm always one to stretch myself as I look to stretch other people. So I just loved the experience. And there was men in the room too. Shout out to Neno. Shout out to Lizardo Tavares, Gustavo. I know I'm missing so many. Oh, Doc Spiller too. He, him and his wife, like I said, was there. There was just so many men. Chase Banks, Hardy, right? All these people, you're probably like, who in the world? Like, these are Emory Holmes is his real name. I'm always saying Chase Banks, right? That's what he goes by. But Emory Holmes, he's one of the chairmen, in the organization, and he was there too, and sharing like metaverse. So it's not just women empowerment; it's also women education too. It's educating women, on what's going on in the world, in this space. So when I looked at it, and it felt good to see men in the room too. It's like, listen, we're gonna support you, right? I really like that. I really like that. So I appreciate it. I already got my ticket for end of the year, right? There's another event happening, so
I did as well.
I'm in there. So I'm excited.
I just wanted to touch on something that she said, in regards to the women's event. When you, especially in this environment, when you look at like the overall picture, there's a lot of males as far as, representation. So just to have something for just women that are supported by males is great, because, just like with most of society, when you look into especially like technology and stuff like that, you don't really see a lot of women in the forefront, and right, because it's
male
dominated. So to be able to have that representation and see women on the rise, that gives us coming up something more to aspire to, because it gives you more reassurance. Not to say that we weren't self-assured before, or building to that, but to say, listen, yes, there are women here, and look, there's more coming. You know what I'm saying? So, make room.
Yeah. Make room.
So yeah, so that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to add, that I'm not one to cry often, right? I do have a heart. I'm just not one to cry. But I'll tell you, I cried multiple times there. And because it was something that I didn't even realize that was deeply how I felt. I'm about to tear up right now. I don't know what it must be timing off. It must be something that was like
next
deeply.
month, y'all. Don't worry.
All right. That was a feeling that I felt deeply in me. And a reason why I want to touch upon this conversation, because all of us are moms, and all of us are, within connected, through business, right? And there's women that are probably tuning in who want to start a business, who are starting a business, who used to do a business. And one of the things that would happen at the event was they had a mommy-daughter panel, right? It was Millie Mills and her daughter, and there was I can't forget the lady's name, but she had her daughter as well. And there was asking questions to kind of get the girls' feedback on what it's like with having your mom. Listen, if y'all don't know who Millie Mills is, y'all should already know this, right? But connected to an incredible digital education mastery academy, and she's actually one of the master educators in the academy, right? But also and it just harps on the phrase, like, stop making excuses, because this woman is literally educating across the world, right? Being a mom, and she talked about her story about having postpartum depression and all that, and building a business too, doing all of these things, and she's married, but it was just so many things that she had her hands in. And I was really thinking, like, wow, there's times I legit be having mom guilt, right? That was a question or conversation that they had, and I see why. I don't know the numbers, but I see why, and I'm not surprised why so many women quit when it comes to a business, because there's this unspoken, I don't know, feeling, pressure that I got to be all things for all people, especially when you have kids, right? And at the same time, those are the first people we write down for our wives.
Yeah.
Those are always the ones that we write down.
Mm.
And then in the same breath, we'll give it all up, right? And then, you know, just like we were saying, like your kids watched you. You know, I took my daughter to an event in DC. She got to meet, Bryce Thompson, you know, talk about heavy hitters, right? Got me. And then the fact that representation, she saw him and other individuals, and they had like one chairwoman, right? That was there. But it wasn't necessarily because it was one chairwoman, at least there was one, but
Right.
the whole idea was the exposure, the reason. Now everything that I do and say, it makes sense because she was physically there. It was something that was tangible. And like I was just
Like
sitting at this
Savannah.
event and I'm in like tears. Like, first of all, why the heck am I crying? That's what I was thinking. But then also, we gotta stop this battle that we're doing. It's not healthy, right? And it's not fruitful. And we have to stop these habits, you know, of feeling like, well, I'm gonna stop doing this because I gotta fit this box. Because, you know, this is what a woman's supposed to be doing. I should be in the house cooking and cleaning.
It's a stigma. It's a
Right.
stigma.
I need to be running around here doing this, doing that, you know, with the kids. And one of the things that they said was, in reality, for real, these kids ain't gonna remember. They're not. You know what they're gonna remember? That you were doing certain things, but you were incorporating them too, right? You had a conversation with them. As long as you're doing, you know, your part, as in, you know, the things that you need to do as a mom. Other than that, the kids are not gonna be like, well, you were never there, because they knew where you were at. You know what I'm saying? They've been sitting next to you. They've been watching you look at the charts. They've been hearing the videos. They've been to an event. So it's not the guilt is more psychological. You know, just like fear, don't worry. We worry about things that we haven't even seen or experienced. It was just something that we put in our hearts. And it hasn't even manifested into anything. So when I sat there, I was like, whoo,
Because you
that
know
was
what it is?
something.
Because we did
Well,
that. Because we did that growing up. Like, if you remember your own parents, right? Your mom. Like, I know for me, growing up, my mom wasn't there because she was always working, right?
mm-hmm.
Always gone. So you want to be in a position to where you're like, I don't want to, you know, do the same things when I become an adult. And so for me, I was like, I don't want Ari to feel like mommy was never there. She was always gone, right? So how do we do that? Just like you said, it's more about incorporating them in the things that you're doing so they don't feel that way, because, you know, from this mentality of, I'm just going to work and that's it, you know, that our parents did, right? They didn't really sit us down and have conversations and whatever. We just knew either your parents were there or they weren't, but we knew they were
Right.
at work, right? But now, being exposed to this type of environment and growing into who you are and who you want to become, you know, like you said, reinforcing that this whole mentality of, if you have a passion, you want to do something, as soon as you have kids, that goes out the window, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, you're like, well, I had kids, and you hear it, I gave up on my dream because, you know, I had to take the kids. But like you said, when we are writing our goals, and our whys are our kids, but then we'll use that same legitimate excuse, right, to say, I had to give it. Alarm came.
I can hear you.
You know, we use that same legitimate excuse to say, because I had kids, now I have to stop being Superwoman, or, you know what I mean, or the queen that I'm destined to be. So we just break those chains. Break those chains.
As queens, we should be able to have lemons and make freaking chocolate cake. You know what that means? Just create the impossible, right?
We do it as moms anyway.
I'm making chocolate cake.
Right. We already do it. It's within us to do.
Right.
When we're moms, we make shit happen. Right.
Exactly.
Especially when you're a single parent, you're like, I gotta figure this shit out. We already do it. So use the same, you know, use it on
Yeah,
that same energy.
logic or yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was huge for me. And I
Right.
mentioned before, seeing Miss Angela Cruikshank brings her kids to they grew up in this joint,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And but they not only, and even she didn't bring
That's
them
what's
to
up.
all these events, she has elevated. Like I'm quite sure they're seeing like, well, mom has been going to these things and it's been helping her grow,
Right.
spiritually and also financially, and adding stuff to the home. So yeah, that was like a mini heart to heart conversation I had with myself, there. But it was good to see. I was in a sea of women. Everybody had come from different backgrounds. We had people, shout out to, I don't know if she's going to watch this, but Amalia, I had met her and just, connect with her, single mom. She flew from the West Coast. First event ever. First time in Orlando on
Mm.
top of that. So she went out on a limb. She took a risk on that. So when I saw that, and she was just telling me her story, and
Mhm.
I was like, wow, I don't know. I mean, she's younger than me too, but the whole point of it was, if not now, then when? There's never a right time. You know what I'm saying? There's no way I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna wait till these kids are 18 years old.
Nope.
Hell to the no. Hell to the no. You know?
Mhm.
So there's never a perfect time.
Right.
The only quote unquote perfect time is now, because all we have today that's promised is today. That's it. Tomorrow isn't. So it was just an added,
Right.
perspective that I had while being there. So I loved it. I love it. I love it. And I can't wait to look forward to, because I'm speaking this into existence. I'm going to be one of the guest speakers there. So I'm just putting that out there.
Oh yeah. Woo! I got to give a shout out to that.
That's right.
And while we're shouting out
Love
amazing
that.
women,
That's
because we mentioned some of these women, I just want y'all. We talk about these women, but they're doing big things, and this is why we are. Because shout out to Miss Jewel Tankard, right? I have her book here,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It's in
Yes.
Barnes and Nobles, y'all.
mm,
Okay, right? The Mind of a
mm,
Millionaires, right? We spoke on her, Miss
yes.
Angela Cruikshank, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. The
I love it,
Unbalanced
Evie.
Feminist Life,
Mm,
right? So
yes.
get into it,
Yes.
y'all. And
Get into it.
one of my coaches, personal coaches, right? Miss Cassandra
Mm-hmm.
House, New York Times bestseller as
Yes.
well, right? Believe,
Yes. Shout out
right?
to her.
So, you know, listen,
Mm-hmm.
when we're saying, you know, you can do it, times over that
Yeah.
can be done. So we're not just up here talking just to talk. We've positioned ourselves in an environment where we get to be with
Mm-hmm.
powerful women like this and see firsthand, right? What, stepping into that superpower of being a woman. And so our moms that have daughters, now they get to see our growth, our evolution, our transformation from, our experience. And so if you're a mom and you're listening to this, watching this again, yes, it's not going to be an easy journey, right? It's going to
Mm-mm.
be tough, but it is possible. It is possible.
Mm-mm.
Right.
And that's one of the things we hope. If you forget anything else that you
And
hear
it's worth
from this, just remember that it is possible. Whatever it is that
Yeah.
you desire to do, it can be done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good stuff. Good stuff. And if it was easy, it would have been done by everybody.
Right.
Right? If it was easy. But if it was easy, it wouldn't feel well worth it. Anything that comes to you easy, man, it doesn't feel good when it's obtained. It doesn't. Right now, let's think about it. Tying your shoelaces, there's not confetti being thrown in the air,
Everything
right?
takes work.
Because it's
Nope.
small potatoes, right?
Everything
So
takes
the
work.
things that take work and
Mm-hmm.
will end, it will be very fruitful. So I'm so happy and grateful now that all of hopes, dreams, desires, goals 2022, ladies, this is the year of the women.
Yes,
Stop playing.
definitely.
So, don't play with this. I know we talk about double blessings, but double blessings, only come if you put in the effort. And if you say, you know what, I want different, and if I gotta become a different person to get it, that's what I gotta do. Right? So I'm excited.
A true.
So any
One thing.
any
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Mo was gonna touch on it. You were saying shout
Yes.
out to Coach Henry.
Mm-hmm.
In this, as we're touching on, transforming and being stretching yourself and being, being a better you. Let's talk about that.
So yeah. Shout out to Coach Henry, like I was saying, yes. And shout out to you, Chi. I know I don't give you your flowers enough, but you have a way about
without really
saying something or putting something out there, and then it just kind of like you drop a seed, and then you gone, and you come back and you look to see what happened with the seed. And this week alone has been amazing because you touch with something, you'll send me a text or you'll ask me a question, and alignment is everything. Because the day you sent me a text about, I'm just going to paraphrase, you was like, what are you doing today to stretch yourself? And I looked at my calendar, I looked at your text, I was like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do today because I got A, B, C, D, E, F, G to do. And I got to make sure I get the G today. And I looked at the text like throughout the day. I kept seeing it in my head. I'm like, damn, I'm going to respond. I will respond, but I didn't have a response. And then Coach hit me up. And normally, when we in the lab, I usually go in with the intentions of just getting, what I'm going to, personal development and growth for the day. What am I going to do? So when we have our huddles with him, I never expect to ever have to do a huddle.
Mm-hmm.
So when he asked me for to share some input with the family, I was like, man, what do you pick me? All days I got A, B, C, D, F, G to do. I'm leaving work at 7:30. I still got to do mom duties. I got all this other stuff. And I legit was like, yo, I have legitimate excuses today. I can't today. And I never responded to him. I was just between myself. I was having like a whole battle. And shout out to Savannah. She was like, what's wrong with you? You quiet tonight. Because I'm thinking about all the stuff I have to do and then some. And she was like, Mom, just get it done. Just talk about how you don't never cancel out legitimate excuses. And I have that written at work at my desk. I have it written in my bathroom in the mirror. I have it written in my bedroom. And it literally says cancel out legitimate excuses. Because we all have excuses. Things happen. Life happens. We're responsible for so much. Like you said, being a mom, having a single mom, doing it all. And it felt really good to stretch myself, to actually pour into the family. And I know you guys
you
were
made
on
me
that
cry.
call
Thanks.
that night.
I was like, I had my bonnet on.
You was not crying, and I felt so bad. You was not crying. It's cool though.
With her bonnet on.
That's how the power of
with my bonnet on.
With her bonnet on. There's a bonnet banding it that night.
Oh yeah, with the bonnet on. Yeah. But I'm so thankful and grateful because it's real easy to be like, I can't do something, but it takes effort and power when you say I can.
No, my screen keep going dark. Like I be quiet.
Yeah. So I can't recap everything I said on the on that call, but if I could leave y'all with anything who's listening to this live and to the replay is cancel out legitimate excuses, because nobody
Yeah,
cares.
that is true. Nope,
That's the
nobody.
bottom line.
Mm.
Nobody cares that you got to take care of this and do that and do this. You know why? Because they have to do their own too. So if you're not putting your all into it, all the belief, all the faith, all of that would be null and void if you don't put the work and the action behind it.
Right,
For
right,
true,
right.
for true.
So
And you know what I looked at too?
I
With you being on the, giving you the platform too, it was very evident that now moving forward, start moving in expectation, because in order for any of us to make an impact, we have to have a platform to do so.
True.
You have to have if you don't have a platform, you have to create a platform, right? But either way, that is how your voice is going to be heard. That's how you're going to reach other people. That is how your kids, will be able to hear another woman, right? Speak her own truth and tell her own story. It's because they were presenting at an event or some type of platform, right? And that was how they heard that person's voice. So the moral of the story is move in expectation, and you can't make legitimate excuses illegitimate, Can't, because so yeah, it was what a week.
Very interesting week, yeah.
Yeah.
Among other things.
It has been.
I know that's business stuff, but yeah, that really is always something crazy.
Look, Mo, we can match if I put my Apple on.
All right.
Uh-oh. Is that the time?
Right. Yeah. So yeah, that was, very interesting, like I said, week, and great conversation. And the whole idea is, Women Empowerment Week. This is, if you weren't empowered before, I would say borrow my belief, borrow it. So yeah. Exactly.
Respect yourself. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be what we're doing, but get out there and learn a new skill. Plug into something. Read a different type of book.
And
I mean, I can't
right.
3 books right there, right?
More, actually.
Listen, you can throw a whole bookshelf.
Look, right here, we got another book, right? We got
yes,
book. That's not
Bryce
audio.
Thompson,
all right? Yes. All right. Shout out to Mr. Bryce Thompson. No, but he's like 26, 25. Man.
No,
is he?
No, yeah.
Yet. No.
He's 25.
25, yeah. See,
he's 25.
All y'all youngins out there, you know what I'm saying? It can happen.
Yeah.
And so cancel out those legitimate excuses, and remove the distractions, and like Chi say, borrow her belief, because she got a lot. She got something to give.
I got another one. I got another book, because we're talking about women, right? Treese Johnson.
And
Digital
another
Unicorn.
Oh yes, yep.
All right.
That's another good one.
That's another one right
Shout
here.
out to her. Actually, it's a friend of Dr. Carlton Calhoun as well. I had the pleasure of tuning in when he had interviewed with her. Great stuff. She's listen, if there's nothing that I love to be, it's something about powerhouse women. Like I just something about strong women and posture. I love it. I need to be I'm always like, I got to be in a room. I got to hear what they got to say. So, that's.
I'm going to borrow Cheese Belief, and I'm going to borrow Evie's books. I might come down.
Listen, unbeknownst to a lot of people, I used to love reading, and for a couple of years, when you get caught up in like work and all this stuff, I fell all the way back. And this was able to bring me back.
Like
I never been an audio book type of person, right?
I love touching a book.
Feel the pages and make my little notes and stuff like that. So it's, again, there are things that we did when we were younger or as kids that when we got into being adults, you know, we completely either disregarded or moved away from. Like, you know, we were fearless as kids, right? You adulthood, now you're like, oh, I don't want to do this, I'm scared, I'm that. And you're like, what the heck? You know, we
You
were
the same one
dreamers.
jumping off the bed head first.
Right. We were dreamers as kids, right? We were creatives and
Right.
stuff like that. You get into, you know, you get into adulthood and you're going about life, you got to move here, there, and there. You stop dreaming. And again, that's why a lot of us are where we are, because we stopped dreaming. We stopped thinking things are possible. You know, even the question of what do you want to be when you grow up as an adult? And it was just like, you know, those questions, even though I don't really say I'm gonna be a teacher, I'm gonna be a, you know, because but still, anyway, you know,
She just had a whole conversation in her head and left us all out.
I know, right?
She just
But you know, we asked.
Oh my God!
We asked.
Share with the group. I haven't heard that in a minute.
Right?
I missed that quote.
Share with the group.
I know, right?
Oh man.
Right. No, it's funny because I was thinking that because I read Becoming, and Michelle Obama, she was, you know, shout out to her too. Awesome powerhouse.
Right. I got that book too.
Yeah, and you know, and she said this part in one of her books, like, you know, when adults ask you, oh, what do you want to be as a kid? And you know, even your teachers and stuff, and they expect you to say like, oh, I want to be a doctor or a lawyer, and it's like, it's almost a pretentious question because, you know, most people say, oh, you should do this, you should do that, as if you already planned, but nobody knows your path but God. You know what I'm saying? And no teacher. I can't tell Ari, you know, what she's capable of, that's not for me to decide. That's what her and the God within her. And so,
baby girl's
you know,
gonna
we
be on stage. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Look, she gonna be doing something, because that little girl, y'all.
Oh,
if
bitch,
y'all
she got a personality. She feisty.
Yeah, it's that what hell? I don't even know. Yeah.
Yeah, don't be surprised if she dyes her hair red and shaves it off. That's just what we do. We just different.
I got a no braid here now.
You're right. Oh man, but yeah, we are human beings, but we are constantly becoming. And like you said, it's not something where you do one thing and that's what it is for the rest of your life. We're constantly transforming. Listen, in one lifetime you could be an architect. The next lifetime, I don't know, you could have a farm. I don't know, whatever it is your heart's desire. That would be nice too. But yeah,
you can actually have one, because depending on what county you live in, you know, they don't have restrictions on certain farm animals. Just throwing that out there. Don't ask me how I know. Just, yeah.
Oh my God, Kim and Josh. So
what's coming up, ladies? What's coming up? What
is coming up in literally less than 2 weeks? Oh my gosh, I am so excited. I done flew back and I'm feeling like I didn't even unpack, by the way. Just put it out there. Still didn't unpack my stuff. So I'm gonna be having, oh gosh. And so getting ready for Believe Nation. Believe Nation, Leader's Edge is the focus, the theme, with Dr. David Ebenetier, Miss Cassandra House, like Evie stated. Mr. Justin Owens is going to speak. You know, I am hype. Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child, Anthony O'Neill, Twyla Portis. How can I forget her? Miss Dr. Ebenetier's mom, Henrietta Miriam Johnson. I hope I'm getting all these words put together. It's just money double D. Who else?
There's a couple other people that were up there. Did you say Mr. John C.
Dan
Maxwell?
Oh my God.
Oh,
let me jump off somewhere. Yeah. No, I didn't mention that. But with none other, John C. Maxwell, Leaders Edge. John C. Maxwell, Mr. John C. Maxwell is a phenomenal leadership guru. I'm telling you, if you have not heard of him, please use your smartphone, okay? And Google that. Google him. Right?
I cannot.
Google
Google.
it.
Right? But we use
Googly
our
baby.
smartphones for other things too. But that's just a whole nother conversation. But anywho, with that being said, yes, that's the upcoming event, February 4th through the 6th in Houston, Texas. And if you are in Houston or somewhere anywhere remotely near it, or if you're not near it and you'd like to be there, hit us up, give you information to the event. I'm telling you, even if you're not directly in the fire, you always want to make sure you are very close to it. So make sure you plug in with us so you can get information with that. So if you want to be around like-minded individuals, you want to talk about leadership, you want to talk about belief, personal growth and development, this is where it's at.
Yep.
And then next event, March 10th to the 12th, going to be in West Palm Beach, Florida. Florida must love me. I'm coming back again, right? West Palm Beach, Florida. I am convention and beyond, because we are going beyond, right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, if you are someone who's a conceiver, believer, achiever, mover, shaker, go getter, this is where you want to be. All right. You want to be around like-minded individuals. Pretty much all the people that I just mentioned and then some are going to be there. And the educators who we're also connected to, the Digital Education Mastery Platform, I Am Mastery Academy, they're going to be there as well. I'm telling you, again.
The #1 digital education platform for foreign
Yes,
exchange and cryptocurrency education.
that is correct.
There you
That
go.
is correct. That's correct. So get plugged in, find out some information. We'll give you information regarding that event. Why not? If you're on the East Coast, I know you're trying to get up out of here, right? Get away from this cold, get into the warmth, right? And get with like-minded individuals. So
Yes,
that's what's up.
sir.
Thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of Cozy Couch Conversations with the Three Queens from Queens. I'm sorry, Evie, what were you going to say? That's what you got?
Yes, that's all I got.
I think you're having a side conversation with
Silly little-
somebody who was
That was mommy, y'all.
down
She
up
came
there.
down to get
Oh,
the Munchkins iPad, just in case y'all want to know. I talk to myself from every time to time. You know what I'm saying? But I was actually talking to a person.
okay.
It's
Appreciate it.
time to go.
I can't. I can't. I love you, Evie.
I'm
You
here
crack me
for
up.
it.
Wow. It's been special. Love you guys and see
You
you
too.
soon.
Peace.
Peace.
Until the following Sunday. Peace.
Listen, correct.
Good night.
Good night, ladies. It won't let me end. It wants me to stay on.